Hello students, once again I Beena Gidwani is here with you to discuss about another interesting and learning episodes of B Pharma on the important unit of use of electrophoresis methods in drug analysis, amperometric titration and its application, which is one of the very important units of the section of Pharmaceutical Analysis 3 of B Pharma 7th semester. Let's start our episode while taking a look at what we are going to learn today. Module 1, Introduction to Electrophoresis Methods. Module 2, Amperometric Titration. Module 3, Application of Amperometric Titration. Module 4, Conclusion. Module 1, Introduction to Electrophoresis. Let's begin this session with an introduction about what actually electrophoresis methods are. The following analytical techniques are being used in qualitative and quantitative analysis of drug substances and drug products in a pharmaceutical industry: titrimetric technique, chromatographic techniques, spectroscopic techniques, electrochemical techniques, kinetic method of analysis, electrophoretic methods, flow injection and sequential injection analysis, hyphenated techniques. Of all these techniques, we will be dealing with electrophoresis. Electrophoresis is the process of migration of charged molecules through solutions in an applied electric field. Electrophoresis is often classified according to the presence or absence of a solid supporting medium or matrix through which the charged molecules move in the electrophoretic system. The solid support matrix inhibits convection and diffusion, which would otherwise impede separation of molecules, and it allows a permanent record of results through staining after run. It can also provide additional separation through molecular sieving. In 1807, Ferdinand Ruiz observed clay particles dispersed in water to migrate on applying constant electric field for the first time. It is caused by a charged interface present between the particle surface and the surrounding field. The rate of migration of particle depends on the strength of the field, on the net charge size and shape of the molecules, and also on the ionic strength, viscosity and temperature of medium in which the molecules are moving. Dear students, electrophoresis in simple words can be defined as the movement of particles under spatially uniform electric field in a fluid, or electrophoresis is the movement of molecules by an electric current. Advantages of electrophoresis. As an analytical tool, electrophoresis is simple, rapid and highly sensitive. It is used analytically to study the properties of a single charge species and as a separation technique. It provides the basis for a number of analytical techniques used for separating molecules by size, charge or binding affinity. Next is types of electrophoresis. A. Paper electrophoresis, PE. B. Affinity electrophoresis, AE. C. Capillary electrophoresis, CE. D. Immunoelectrophoresis, IE. E. Gel electrophoresis, GE. F. Pulse field gel electrophoresis, PFGE. And G. SDS PAGE, sodium diodecyl sulfate polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. Buffers used in electrophoresis. Buffers carry current and protect samples during electrophoresis. Tris borate EDTA, TBE, tris acetate EDTA, TAE, tris phosphate EDTA, TPE, used most often for DNA. 10 millimolar sodium phosphate buffer is used for RNA. Buffer additives modify sample molecules. For example, formamide, urea, denaturing agents. Electrophoresis is usually done with gels formed in tubes, slabs or on a flat bed. In many electrophoresis units, the gel is mounted between two buffer chambers containing separate electrodes so that the only electrical connection between the two chambers is through the gel. The movement of molecules is impeded in the gel so that molecules will collect or form a band according to their speed of migration. Electrophoresis can be one-dimensional and or two-dimensional. Two-dimensional electrophoresis is widely used to separate complex mixtures like proteins. Principle of electrophoresis. Two basic electrical equations are important in electrophoresis. The first is Ohm's law. I is equal to V divided by R. V is equal to IR. The second is P is equal to EI. This can also be expressed as P is equal to I square R. In electrophoresis, one electrical parameter, either current, voltage or power, is always held constant. Under constant current conditions, velocity is directly proportional to current. The velocity of the molecules is maintained, but heat is generated. Under constant voltage conditions, the velocity slows, but no additional heat is generated during the course of the run. Under constant power conditions, the velocity slows, but heating is kept constant. The net charge is determined by the pH of the medium. All type of electrophoresis are governed by the single set of general principles illustrated by equation. Mobility of a molecule is equal to applied voltage multiplied by net charge on the molecule divided by friction of the molecule. The principle of electrophoresis is shown in figure. Use of electrophoresis in drug analysis. Gel electrophoresis is used to study the resolution and detection of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Capillary gel electrophoresis is used to separate nucleic acids. It separates solute by charge by mass ratio. Used for determination of molecular weight of proteins. Most practical applications of electrophoresis in biochemistry employ some form of zonal electrophoresis in which the aqueous ionic solution is carried in a solid support and samples are applied as a spots or bands of material. Paper electrophoresis is a commonly used electrophoretic method in pharmaceutical analysis for estimation and resolution of small molecules. Paper electrophoresis, cellulose acetate strip and cellulose nitrate strip and gel electrophoresis are all examples of zonal electrophoresis systems. Such systems are typically employed for analytical rather than preparative scale separations. Gel matrix used mainly is polyacrylamide and agarose. Electrophoresis is used in forensics, molecular biology, genetics, microbiology and biochemistry. The results can be analyzed quantitatively by visualizing the gel with UV light and a gel imaging device. The image is recorded with a computer operated camera and the intensity of the bend or spot of interest is measured and compared against standard or markers loaded on the same gel. Depending on the type of analysis being performed, other techniques are often implemented in conjunction with the results of gel electrophoresis, providing a wide range of field specific applications. The electrophoretic devices are economical and can be explored to the core to analyze the complexity of biomolecules. In addition to pharmaceutical studies, it finds an application in the analysis of biopolymers and inorganic ions. Pharmaceutical applications. An important instrument available for the analysis of pharmaceuticals is capillary electrophoresis (CE). In this technique, solutes are perceived as peaks as they pass through the detector, and the areas of individual peaks are proportional to their concentration, which allows quantitative estimations. In pharmaceutical analysis, it can be used to study the properties of a single charged species or mixture of molecules. It can also be used preparatively as a separation technique. It is used for analysis of drugs. Electrophoresis is used for testing the purity of pharmaceuticals. Electrophoresis is important for quality control of pharmaceutical entities and products. For example, qualitative and quantitative analysis, purity testing, chiral purity and related substance, and stoichiometric determination. The examples related to pharmaceutical applications are shown below. Analyte NSAIDs sample is pharmaceutical formulation, detection done by UV, and the technique is capillary zone electrophoresis. Analyte is antihistamines, sample pharmaceutical formulation, urine and serum, detection done by UV, and the technique is capillary zone electrophoresis. Analyte is codeine, diphenhydramine, ephedrine and noscapine. Sample is cough cold syrup, detection done by UV, and the technique is capillary zone electrophoresis. Analyte folic acid, sample tablet, apple juice and human urine, detection done by chemiluminescence, and the technique is capillary zone electrophoresis. Analyte antibiotics, sample pharmaceuticals and feed stuff, detection by UV, and the technique is micellar electrokinetic chromatography. Analyte is heroin, amphetamine and their basic impurities, sample standard mixture and sized samples, detection by UV, and the technique is microemulsion electrokinetic chromatography. Analyte psychotic drug, sample is serum, detection by UV, and the technique is non-aqueous capillary electrophoresis. Dear students, after module 1, module 2 amperometric titration. Amperometry is an electroanalytical technique in which current is measured at a constant applied potential and relating it to concentration. Two important amperometric analyses are using current as a sensor and amperometric titration. The term amperometry is derived from the current measurement unit ampere and the measurement device meter used in the method. This technique involves the application of a constant reducing or oxidizing potential to an indicator, working electrode, and the subsequent measurement of the resulting steady state current. The magnitude of measured current is dependent on the concentration of the reduced or oxidized substance. Amperometric titration refers to a class of titrations in which the equivalence point is determined through measurement of the electric current produced by the titration reaction. It is a form of quantitative analysis. In general, amperometry involves setting the E applied so that desired reaction occurs, stirring the solution, measuring the current. Next is amperometer and its functioning. A meter designed to measure electrical current is popularly known as an ammeter because the unit of measurement is amps. An ammeter or amperometer is a measuring instrument used to measure the current in a circuit. Electric currents are measured in amperes, capital A. Instruments used to measure smaller currents in the milliampere or microampere range are designated as milliammeter or microammemeters. Early ammemeters were laboratory instruments which relied on the Earth's magnetic field for operation. In ammemeter designs, external resistors added to extend the usable range of the movement are connected in parallel with the movement. The main principle of ammemeter is that it must have a very low resistance and also inductive reactance. Ammemeter has very low impedance because it must have very low amount of voltage drop across it and must be connected in series connection because current is same in the series circuit. Also, due to very low impedance, the power loss will be low, and if it is connected in parallel, it becomes almost a short circuit path and all the current will flow through ammemeter. As a result of high current, the instrument may burn. So, due to this reason, it must be connected in series. For an ideal ammemeter, it must have zero impedance so that it has zero voltage drop across it. So, the power loss in the instrument is zero, but the ideal is not achievable practically. Depending on the constructing principle, there are many types of ammemeter. They are mainly permanent magnet moving coil ammemeter PMMC, moving iron ammemeter, electrodynamometer type ammemeter, rectifier type ammemeter. Depending on this type of measurement, they can be DC ammemeter and AC ammemeter. Criteria for amperometric titration. Either titrant or both should be electroreducible. The potential applied should correspond to the limiting current. If the current voltage curves of the reagent and of the substances being titrated are known, the polarogram must first be determined in supporting electrolyte. Students, in simple words, amperometric titrations refer to a class of titrations in which the equivalence point is determined through measurement of the electric current produced at a fixed potential by the titration reaction. Principle of amperometric titration. According to Ilkovic equation, ID is equal to 607 multiplied by n multiplied by d to the power 1 by 2 multiplied by m to the power 2 by 3 multiplied by t to the power 1 by 6 multiplied by c. The diffusion current ID is equal to limiting current minus residual current is directly proportional to the concentration of the electroactive material in the solution. If some of the electroactive material is removed by interaction with reagent, the diffusion current will decrease. This is the fundamental principle of amperometric titrations. The observed diffusion current at a suitable applied voltage is measured as a function of the volume of the titrating solution. The end point is the point of intersection of two lines giving the change of current before and after the equivalence point. Next is advantages of amperometric titration. Titration can be carried out rapidly since the end point is found graphically and a few current measurements at constant applied voltage before and after end point is sufficient and reading near the end point is not required. Titration can be carried out in which solubility relation or hydrolysis may create difficulty in potentiometric and visual indicator method. For example, when the reaction product is markedly soluble, precipitation titration or appreciably hydrolyzed acid base titration. This is because the readings near the equivalence point have no special significance in amperometric titrations. Readings are recorded in region where there is excess of titrant or of reagent, at which points the solubility or hydrolysis is suppressed by the mass action effect. The point of intersection of these lines gives the equivalence point. A number of amperometric titration can be carried out at dilution 10 to the power minus 4, at which indicator method and potentiometric methods do not give accurate results. Foreign salts may frequently be present without interference and are indeed usually added as the supporting electrolyte in order to eliminate the migration current. If the current voltage curves of the reagent and of the substance being titrated are not known, the polarograms must first be determined in the supporting. Amperometric titrations can be performed in two ways. First, by adjusting the potential of a single microelectrode within the range of the limiting current of the electroactive species and subsequently recording the current flow as a function of increasing titrant volume. Second, by applying a fixed potential to the indicator electrode, holding the potential difference between a pair of microelectrodes constant while the current is measured as a function of the titrant volume. Instrumentation. Amperometric titration can be carried out with a rotating platinum electrode. It consists of a glass tube of length 15 to 20 centimeter in length and 6 mm in diameter. The platinum wire extends 5 to 10 mm from the wall of glass tubing. The electrode is mounted on shaft of the motor and rotated at constant speed of 600 rpm. Electrical connection is made to the electrode by copper wire passing through the tubing to the mercury covering the platinum wire seal. The mode in which titration is performed can involve either the use of one or two indicator electrodes depending on the nature of titration. Reference electrode used in amperometry is SCE, saturated calomel electrode. Indicator electrode used in amperometry is DME, dropping mercury electrode, or RPE, rotating platinum electrode. Advantages of rotating platinum electrode. A. Diffusion current is 20 times larger than DME, which allows to measure the small concentration of ions. B. The rotating platinum electrode can be used at positive potential up to plus 0.9 volt, whereas DME can be used only plus 0.4 volt to minus 2.0 volt. C. The electrode is simple to construct. The figure shows the rotating platinum electrode. Students, after dealing with the criteria, advantages and instrumentation of amperometric titrations, let us now discuss the types of amperometric titrations in details with examples. Types of amperometric titration. In amperometric titration, current passes through the titration cell between a polarizable electrode and non-polarizable electrode is measured as a function of volume of titrant added. Amperometric titration can be of the following types. First, titrant is reducible, but titrant and product are non-reducible. Second, titrant is unreducible, but titrant is reducible. Third, both titrant and titrant are reducible. Titrant gives titrant plus product. Before dealing in details, we will study what the terms titrant and titrant are. In titrimetric analysis, the reagent of known strength is called titrant and the substance being titrated is called titrand. Titrant is generally taken in burette and titrant is taken in conical flask. First, titrant is reducible, but titrant and product are non-reducible as shown in figure A and B. When solution containing lead ion is titrated against sulphate ion, a precipitate of lead sulphate is formed. The titration can be performed at fixed potential minus 0.8 volts versus saturated calomel electrode. As titration is proceeds, concentration of lead ion decreases and diffusion current also decreases till it becomes minimum at equivalence point. The diffusion current remains constant beyond end point. The value of diffusion current is plotted against the volume of titrant added. The resulting titration curve is straight line leveling off at end point. The intersecting of two extra plotted portions of the curves gives the end point. Second, titrant is reducible, but titrant and products are not reducible, shown in figure A and B. When solution containing magnesium ion is titrated against the reducible species such as 8-hydroxyquinoline at constant potential of minus 1.6 volt, in this titration the current is steady till the end point because magnesium ion does not undergoes reduction. Beyond the end point, the 8-hydroxyquinoline undergoes reduction. As its concentration increases, diffusion current also increases. Third, when titrant and titrant both are reducible, product is not reducible, shown in figure A and B. When solution containing lead ion is titrated against potassium dichromate, the titration is performed at potential of minus 0.8 volt versus SCE. Diffusion current is decreases due to removal of lead ion. The current is minimum at the end. Module 3, Applications of Amperometric Titrations. First, it is used for detection of end point for the titration of substances with millimole per liter level with excellent analytical precision. Second, amperometric titration method is used for redox titrations and to study complex formation. It can be used to study the electron transfer reactions, oxidation, reduction, organic and inorganics, proteins and adsorption of species at interface. Third, using amperometric titrations, precipitation titration can be performed. Fourth, determination of water using Karl-Fischer reagent. Fifth, estimation of chlorine in water and water waste. Sixth, estimation of total available heavy metals in water sample. Seventh, estimation of total oxygen demand TOD in water. The detailed applications of amperometric titrations with examples are shown in table 1. Table 1, Applications of amperometric titration. First, sample is insecticide, analyte, total chlorine. The reagent is silver nitrate and the polarizable electrode is silver. Second, water petroleum refining. Analyte is chloride, reagent is isoamyl alcohol ethanol, polarizable electrode is RPE. Third, sample is water, analyte is arsenic, reagent is potassium bromate and the polarizable electrode is RPE. Fourth, waste water, analyte is hydrazine, reagent is bromine, polarizable electrode is RPE. Fifth, sample is water, analyte, total heavy metals, reagent is EDTA and electrode is DME. Sixth, sample is water, analyte chlorine species, reagent is phenyl arsine oxide and electrode is RPE. 7th sample is quartz, pyrite and jewelry. Analyte is gold. Reagent is hydroquinone and electrode is RPE. 8th sample is brine and sea water evaporates. Analyte is iodide. Reagent is potassium iodate and electrode is RPE. 9th Chinese herbal drug. Analyte is pineol and catechin. Reagent is bromine and electrode is RPE. 10th sample is serum. Analyte is chloride. Reagent is silver ion and electrode is graphite. 11th sample is catalyst. Analyte palladium. Reagent potassium thiocyanate and electrode is platinum. 12th sample is drug. Analyte is aluminium. Reagent is EDTA and electrode is RPE. 13th sample is quartz glasses. Analyte is vanadium. Reagent is EDTA and electrode is rotating graphite. 14th sample is nuclear fuels. Analyte is uranium. Reagent is Morse salt and electrode is RPE. 15th sample is iron ore. Analyte is iron. Reagent is manganese 3 and electrode is RPE. 16th sample is ores. Analyte is mercury. Reagent is thiosalicylic acid and electrode is RPE. 17th sample is steel. Analyte is vanadium. Reagent is ferrocene or Mohrs salt. Electrode is RPE or graphite. 18th sample is steel. Analyte is chromate. Reagent is potassium iodide and electrode is RPE. 19th sample is steel. Analyte is manganese chromium. Reagent is copper and electrode is RPE. 20 sample is steel. Analyte is selenium. Reagent is ascorbic acid and electrode is RPE. 21 sample is alloy. Analyte is antimony or iron. Reagent is potassium dichromate and electrode is RPE. 22 sample is rubber. Analyte is sulfur. Reagent is iodine and electrode is RPE. 23 sample is biological samples. Analyte is mercury. Reagent is iodine and electrode is RPE. 24 sample is bricks and cements. Analyte is chromium. Reagent is sodium arsenite and electrode is RPE. 25 sample is organic substance. Analyte is selenium. Reagent is iodine and electrode is RPE. 26 sample is gasoline. Analyte is lead. Reagent is thiosalicylamide and electrode is RPE or DME. 27 sample is propellant. Analyte is nitroglycerine. Reagent is sodium thiosulfate and electrode is RPE. 28 sample is radiopharmaceuticals. Analyte is technetium. Reagent is tin and electrode is RPE. 29 samples are tablet. Analyte ascorbic acid. Reagent is dichloramine T in presence of potassium iodide and electrode is platinum graphite. Module 4 Conclusion. With this, here we come to an end of this lecture. A detailed and elaborative discussion about electrophoresis and amperometry is covered in this module. From this lecture session, we can conclude that electrophoresis is an important and advanced technology for estimation of macro and micro molecules. It finds broad applications in pharmaceuticals including analysis, biochemistry, chemistry, biotechnology and microbiology. Besides electrophoresis, amperometry is an electroanalytical titrimetric technique is covered with its introduction, advantages, criteria, types and applications. Keeping in mind the interesting concepts continue theorizing and learning the matter and facts discussed in this lecture. I will be soon back with one another topic covering other section of pharmaceutical analysis relevant to the syllabus. Till then, keep studying and learning. Goodbye.